We all know that Meghan Markle likes her own way, don't we? I mean, the thing that I find funny, if I'm honest, right, chums, is the fact that basically, even when it was somebody else's night, do you remember when she posted the picture on Instagram and the other side of the picture was just Meghan in the silhouette? In a far distance was her friend of 20 years, you know? Even at that moment, Meghan couldn't really fully give the friend the exposure that she truly deserved. And there lies your problem, and there lies truly the problem inside the marriage of Meghan and Harry. Because, yeah, it's taken him a long time to wake up to the fact that she, who should be obeyed, if you remember Rumpole of the Bailey, yes, well, the bottom line is he just seemingly now can't control her at all. And according to an excellent source, a former staff member, she's pointed out to Harry that they are her children as well. It's got to that point. As ever, let me explain. Morning, chums, nice to see you. Thank you so much as ever for joining me. You know, when you think about it, do you remember the thing they did? Oh, it'll be about a year ago plus now. And it was the Parent Network or the Parent Association. Wonderful interview by that lady, Jane Pawley, something like that. But, you know, nicely, beautifully lit, all of that sort of stuff. But no interaction with the woman at all, right? And the woman who'd been brought in. And it was a very, very strange video, wasn't it? And as we now find out, of course, the Parents Association or whatever it's called has now been let off because it was an incubator period that Meghan and Harry were involved with. You could read it a totally different way, couldn't you? And there was Harry, of course, legs crossed, very nervous. She's looking at him with daggers because he dared to speak. I mean, know your place, Harry, right? The bottom line is he pointed out, didn't he, that we all had to be first responders, and this was all about social media. And when you think about it, you know, we've learned recently that Princess Charlotte is not allowed a phone. Now, I don't blame William, do you, and of course Catherine at all. I think there's an age point where children need a phone. And really, when you think about it, she's one of the most protected people in the world. There will be no need for her to need a phone to ring her mum to say, I'm starting to walk back from school. Makes perfect sense. And actually, William and Catherine just want to protect their children, as I'm sure Harry wants to protect his children, right? But the problem that you've got is you've got a wife who basically set up this charity or got involved with this charity, and it's smacked, didn't it, of weirdness, because then suddenly we've got an influx of Meghan Markle sharing endless pictures on her then recently launched Instagram page, telling us all, of course, about how marvellous she was and making cookie in this kitchen and stirring pots of jam. My favourite line was, of course, where she said, this just makes me laugh, right, chums, where she said that the children were there at the very start when the jam was just boiling on a stove in the kitchen. I mean, it's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous because she seems to think that you seem to think that that's true. You get the picture. Now, moving forward, as you can imagine, they've decided, both of them, to exploit their children to the max. But in order to counteract this, they've decided also to utilise the publicity around this and to basically make out that, you know, Prince Harry is struggling with the idea that Meghan Markle wants to feature her children and his children online. Now, you'll notice, of course, that none of these kids have ever personally said that they like to be on camera. We don't know what permission they've got, and you know, they're the parents, they control them. They don't need to ask them. They're their children, right? Ultimately. But of course, when you're just selling things, whether it be jam, candles, booze, chocolate, whatever, Harry's been utilised to sell the chocolate, and that didn't particularly go well, did it? And now we know they're hawking their wares over to Australia, and apparently, you know, this is costing a lot, but not, of course, them. Oh, somebody else is picking up that bill, trust me. And I'm not just talking about the Australians. But here's where it gets interesting, because now they want to change the narrative about Lily and Archie, right? Because ultimately, it's Archie and Lily who are now going to get the focus. Nobody's really interested in what the Markles got to offer. As I've said to you before, the interesting bit about these two is the rapid decline. It's those that have it all. It's a bit like the Barbara Hutton, the Heiress Woolworth story. You know, once you've got to that point, once you've got, of course, to this wonderful arena of where you could have anything you want, but you let it go, it slips out your fingers, and suddenly, well, you know, it's your problem, right? Now, what they've decided to do is make out that Harry is uncomfortable with this, to basically create a marriage rift so that you can say, look, these two are arguing over this. The situation is this, according to that staff member, and this makes perfect sense to me. that Harry has no control over what Meghan wants to do with the children, right? If they're going to be on a video to launch, whether it be jam, chocolate, spooning anything, chasing chickens around, she decides when, where, what they're going to wear, when it's going to be filmed, and who's editing it, right? So Harry has nothing to do or nothing to say with it at all. He might be personally unhappy, but as this staff member told me, and this came from Harry, and again, as ever, I have to say allegedly, but he said also it's difficult because, you know, there's two parents and there are two children. And seemingly Meghan's told Harry that the children like apparently appearing on camera, get very excited when they're going to make one of their little films together. And remember, Meghan inserted this particular narrative way back when she had a TV show, and she pointed out that it was a family affair because Archie was now working the clapperboard and seeing exactly what Mum got up to on a daily basis. Back at work. Well, back at work in somebody else's fake kitchen with a script written by an 80-man crew, but you get the picture. And so Harry feels that he can't really squash the dreams, the happiness and the hopes, not just of his wife, Markle, but of course of his children now, who according to Meghan, well, they enjoy being part of the process of seeing her business develop. And that's the real reason how they're going to get out of this, and how we're going to see more and more of these children slowly drip-fed to us, even though, of course, they're not really allowed to see any grandparents, any family on both sides. It's a strange way, isn't it, one might say, to introduce the children to the bigger, wider world. But where cash is involved, of course, it's also very important. Neil Sean, Kensington, London.